According to the National Electrical Code, specifically Section 110.26a, the question arises whether a dry transformer disconnect on either the primary or secondary side necessitates adherence to specific workspace requirements. This section of the code addresses spaces about electrical equipment, mandating sufficient room for safe operation and maintenance. The core of the inquiry lies in determining if a transformer disconnect falls under the category of equipment that is likely to require examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance while energized. The determination hinges on the typical operational and maintenance procedures associated with such disconnects. In many standard electrical installations, dry transformers and their associated disconnects are designed to operate for extended periods without requiring frequent intervention or maintenance while energized. Regular maintenance typically involves visual inspections for any signs of physical damage, overheating, or loose connections, and these inspections can often be conducted with the transformer de-energized to ensure safety. However, there might be instances where troubleshooting or diagnostic procedures necessitate measuring voltage or current at the disconnect while the transformer is energized. These situations are less common but can occur, especially when diagnosing issues within the electrical system. Therefore, assessing whether a dry transformer disconnect falls under the purview of 110.26 requires a nuanced understanding of its operational context and maintenance requirements. Firstly, consider the design and installation of the disconnect. If the disconnect is primarily intended for isolating the transformer during maintenance or emergencies, and routine operations do not involve working on it while energized, it may not be classified as equipment requiring frequent energized attention. Secondly, examine the specific maintenance procedures recommended by the manufacturer. These procedures often outline the tasks that need to be performed and whether they can be safely conducted with the equipment energized. Thirdly, evaluate the risk assessment conducted for the electrical system. This assessment should identify potential hazards and determine the likelihood of needing to work on the disconnect while energized. The assessment should consider factors such as the criticality of the load served by the transformer, the reliability of the electrical system, and the availability of alternative power sources. When determining whether a dry transformer disconnect qualifies under NEC 110.26a, it is important to consider the nature of the work being performed. Simple tasks such as tightening a bolt or visually inspecting the device do not constitute the type of examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance that the code is intending to address when determining required working clearances. The NEC guidelines focus on tasks that require interaction with energized components. In conclusion, a dry transformer disconnect is not typically considered equipment requiring examination, adjustment, servicing, or maintenance while energized under normal circumstances, but specific situations might require a different approach based on manufacturer recommendations and risk assessment.